David O. Russell, welcome. Okay, so we just saw that last scene. Tell us what you contributed to bring the best out of those two great actors.
Well, they both were going to have a confrontation. They were both lovers of the same man, Christian Bale, in this movie, and the film is about love and romance and fighting for what you love and who you love and your own identity. And so they each come to this moment in the bathroom of confrontation, and Jennifer, like an animal, can make their fur really gigantic to intimidate another animal. And she does that to Amy. She makes herself very fierce to Amy, whose hair is actually, Amy's hair is gigantic like another animal. But what makes it beautiful is that Jennifer collapses right afterwards. After she's used every ounce of her fierceness, she becomes very vulnerable and she falls apart. And that's, to me, what makes it. But the two of them are very different. Amy's very sharp. Jennifer's very round. They come at each other. The way they speak is very different.
You know, I didn't know anything about this movie. I just saw Bradley Cooper with a perm, and I said, I saw a picture of that. I said, I'm going to go see this movie. I don't care what he's doing. I'm going to go see this movie.
Not a perm, little tiny curlers.
Okay, but they look very much like a little tiny perm. But so I'm thinking, David, when you first read the script, were you thinking that this is the beauty that they say of you, that you get people to do things and think of things that they never would? That's the genius of what David O. Russell does.
Well, I feel that with the last three movies, The Fighter, Silver Linings Playbook, and now this, that we have a certain kind of humanity we're telling in stories. And that means we're in a zone where we know what's going to be exciting, and I can try to give everything I have, such as Bradley Cooper, going from dancing with Amy Adams to getting hit over the head by her, to Jennifer singing Live and Let Die.
With the yellow gloves.
Yeah, with the, as they call
yellow
it,
rubber gloves.
Marigolds, which I've been told in England they call them. I didn't know that. And you know, that's just an inspiration that's almost, you know, see that, I mean, yeah, that's why it's a little operatic. I want them to do big moments of emotion that are sort of spellbinding and exhilarating to me from their struggle, you know, so that's
10 Oscar nominations for this film.
Yes.
You've had a great...
Yes.
I'm proud of all my actors. I'm proud of my designers, our set decorators, our hair designer. I'm very proud that the film was recognized, you know, and we're coming up, I guess it's been a long season, but it makes movies exciting. It gets people to come see movies.
What's interesting about this film also is it, in a sense, parallels some of your life. I mean, it's a renewal film, and you went through a kind of renewal after having, you know, 8 or 10 years in the wilderness.
Yes. I had about 8 years where I was helping my son, who had suffered from bipolar, and got divorced and lost my way as a storyteller. Great. Everybody has to come back. You have to pick yourself up, and that allows me to be more personal when I'm telling stories, whether it's The Fighter or American Hustle.
That's what I was wondering about Silver Linings Playbook, because I know that had to be an emotional film for you, because you know about raising and loving a bipolar son. But was it on some level healing for you too?
Very much so. To take something that had been private and bring it into the public, it was very healing for him. I think to see that his story could be part of the world, and it was have people come up and tell him this was very helpful to our family. People still come up to me in supermarkets, anywhere I am, and say, I want to talk to you about my brother, my sister, my mother, and thank you for doing that. And you trade ideas from Dr. Oz to anything else that you've heard lately that is helpful.
The New York Times wrote, Mr. Russell is one of the few American male directors working today who's as interested in women as he is in men. Ooh. Is that really novel for directors?
It shouldn't be, but I'm happy for it to stay a rare commodity in my cinema, and for me to be carrying the banner for that, because I think women are, just to me, endlessly fascinating and powerful, and I want them to be right toe-to-toe with the men or exceed the men, and that's been a great secret since The Fighter.
And Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams, incredible characters in American Hustle.
Yes, I mean, they always surprise you. I mean, they show every bit of rawness and cunningness and sexiness, but also rawness and emotion and heart. And all of these movies I make have to have heart and some kind of hope in them, but be grounded at the same time, not be fake, be grounded, because that's what I want to. Otherwise, I don't want to do the movie. That's how some of my favorite directors that I grew up on were.
So where does the word difficult come from when they talk about David O. Russell, the D word? Are you difficult, do you think, or are you just passionate about what you do?
I don't think you're going to find that word too much. That was in my earlier incarnation. You know? It's true. It's true. If you're old enough, if you live long enough, I'm just being straight up with you.
You are.
No, 12 years ago, you can go back in time if you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying that was, I did the first 4 films, and then I had a difficult period that he indicated, and then I came back, and I don't think any of these these actors would say that.
Would say that about you today.
Not now.
No,
I
they
encourage you to have him on and ask him. I think I just want nothing but love and collaboration on the set. And life is too short, too hard to make a movie.
Well, that
anyway.
is what you put out. But what does the O stand for in David O. Russell? I read so many articles I couldn't find it.
I can't tell you. It's not. I'm not at liberty to tell you.
Otis?
Why not?
I'm just not at liberty to tell you. It's like a legal thing. It's Owen.
Owen, okay. All right, David Owen Russell. We thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gail King, Charlie Rose, Miss O'Donnell. Very exciting to be here.
American Hustle's in theaters right now.